every single Friday, I should say, with a visit with the great Chris Egan. Chris Egan joins us now from the estate in Puyallup, where there are guards outside of his house there in Puyallup. It's all brought to you by Fat Zach's Pizza, 3 locations in Sumner, Puyallup, South Hill, home of the original No Big Deal Pickle Pizza. Book one of their 3 food trucks for catering, birthday parties, graduations, corporate events. Find Fat Zach's Pizza on Facebook, Instagram, and, of course, up at fatzachspizza.com. How are you, sir?
I am doing well, Puck. How are you? You got me all right? Everything sounding good?
Everything's great. Everything's wonderful.
Perfect.
How about you?
You know, it's been another emotional week. We've got a lot of good things to talk about on this Friday edition. But, I think I know you talked about it on Monday, but I think I just need to pay my respects to the great Tony Ventrella, who passed away. He's somebody that I admired a lot. He was former sports director at King 5 at Cairo TV. Worked a little bit at Q13 as well. Worked with Seahawks media, Sounders media. So over the past 30 years, this is somebody that I've got to know pretty closely. I go back to 1993. When I think I was a junior at Pacific Lutheran University, and Tony Ventrella and Frosty Westrine were actually very close, good friends, kind of both for that same positive, motivational speaking. And Frosty would bring Tony down sometimes, and I still remember Frosty introducing me to Tony, and Frosty knew I was into sports broadcasting. And we met in a room at Olson Auditorium one night, and we just chatted. And I still remember Tony saying, hey, if you love editing until 3 a.m, if you love working just weird hours, if you are okay, working weekends, and it's what you love to do, then go for it, Chris. And you remember those moments, and it kind of pushed me recently to make sure when kids reach out to me that I'm reaching back to them and helping them out. And we had some kids last week at Lake Washington that wanted to job shadow, and I'm like, follow me wherever you want to go. I'd received word that Tony wasn't doing great a couple weeks ago. Him and I text back and forth, and then got the news from a very close family friend on Saturday night, and then spent Sunday talking to his grandson and his son, and they were by his side. Passed away at the age of 80, and I'll say this: he lived 80 incredible years. He's got a book about always smiling and just being positive and helping others, and that's why people loved him. And you look back, Puck, at the 80s and 90s when King 5 and Cairo were pulling 40 shares, and Wayne Cody and Bruce King and Tony Ventrella, everybody knew them. You know what? They didn't go on Twitter and try to be controversial. They didn't go on Instagram and, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. It was, they just made those sportscasts fun, and they made it must-see TV, and they all had their own style. And Tony was very positive. He tried some unique things like the wrestling hole of the week, interviews from a barber shop. But the guy, he was just so positive and so friendly, and he touched so many lives, and everybody had a Tony V story. And I have many of them, but for me, 1993 is the one that sticks to me most, because that's when I first met him, and he could have been a jerk. He could have been an arrogant sportscaster from Seattle that everybody loved, and said, you know what, I don't got time for you right now. But he did have time, and he took that time, and it was a small difference in my life, so I can't thank him enough. And just another person that the heart breaks, but the heart breaks because there's people we love out there, and that's not a bad thing. And now we just have to celebrate them. And like I said, 80 great years. I'm sure he has no regrets, and just a good man, and one of the best to ever do it on TV in the Seattle sports market, for sure.
Well, and there's a lot of you in him, right?
Yeah, I mean, I like to say that there's a lot of people I model.
Well, I should actually. There's a lot of him in you. I think I screwed that up. I mean, you guys are very similar in terms of how you do your broadcasts.
Well, this is a guy, Puck, and you've always been a pro high school football, but this is a guy, when you get text out of the blue on a Friday night, I can go back 8 years ago. It's raining at Auburn Memorial Stadium, and the last place I want to be is a Friday night football game. And then you get that text from Tony V that says, "Egan, I love your Friday night football, man. Keep it up." And you'll get that random text just from somebody you grew up watching. An email from a Gene Anderson says, "Hey, stuff looks good." And those are the things that just keep you going, because sometimes it isn't the pay, it isn't the glamour, but it's highlighting those kids. And Tony was always big on that, and just another reason why I love doing that stuff. And I think it's no secret on this show. I'm a more positive person than negative, and that's everybody has their own way that they go about life. And yeah, I definitely get that from a little bit from Tony, a little bit from Frosty, a little bit from my mom, a kindergarten teacher of 40 years, and and a beautiful wife that keeps me going every day as well too.
Yeah.
But,
stop sucking up to Melanie. Good God. You know what? Jesus.
Here's the Mel.
She doesn't need it every week. All right.
I feel like, Puck, I've taken so many shots over the years, with her blankets, with her pillows, with her
pillows.
Artwork. And Puck, who doesn't get the holidays ready more than a little glass pumpkin right there?
Glass got it. Oh God, glass pumpkin. The whole thing. It's amazing that you're so positive in the TV world in this, but when you coach, you're an a-hole, and everybody knows that.
No, Puck, come on. I am not. So I've learned over the years. In fact, I think now my 23rd year of coaching youth soccer, I may be my best because I never say a negative thing on the field toward my players. Now, I did last week say, all right, turn it up a little bit, everybody, or you're going to be sitting next to me on the
Who
bench.
are you coaching? What are you coaching? What age?
So I got Luke's, and I've got some things I do have to run by. I've got Luke's soccer team.
Okay.
And we are a rec team playing out of Washington Premier. I've got 19 kids. And these 19 kids, Puck, play basketball, baseball, lacrosse, football. And many
all
of
at the same time?
They're all doing different things at different times. That's why they've stayed with me, because I've offered the chance for them to be a multi-sport athlete. You don't have to come to practice if you don't want to make it there. Usually I have 15 of the 19 at every practice.
That's good. That's way to set up a responsibility to a team and your teammates. Good job.
Well, you know what? They look at themselves in the mirror every night before they go to bed, and they know they got to get to practice.
Hey, don't come as long as you guys show up on game day. Score head coach Egan here a couple of goals so he can go back and kind of kick his feet up later and talk about how the Blue Bonnets are undefeated this season.
One thing I do, I got 19 players, and Puck, I'm not gonna lie, there's some that should be playing Premier, but they just have chosen not to play Premier. They just, for the time schedule, for the money, for what it may be, they just don't want to go that route. And some of these kids have been playing together since they're 5, so they're pretty good. They do very well in their league together. And the thing I love is our last game, we're playing a team in Gig Harbor, and I have, once again, superhuman hearing that I can hear across the field. So, you know what? I just want to put that out there for anyone. And you got the Gig Harbor team doesn't lose a lot. They're losing to us. And so what happens when you lose? You can either admit these guys are pretty good, this team is pretty good, or you can go the other route, this is a Premier team. This is a Premier team. They should not be playing us. They should not be playing us right now. And that's what a lot of them are saying. One of my kids is wearing a bracelet from school that maybe a girl gave him, and one of the parents is like, look at that, he's got a bracelet which marks him as a Premier player. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no, that's just a bracelet that his girlfriend gave him at junior high. So you know what, and here's the thing, I told our parents, that's okay. If another team wants to think that you're a Premier team, that's good. That is a compliment to your team. Every high school out there in America, end this cheer right now. Overrated.
No, I love that cheer. I like that cheer. No, I disagree with you.
You know why it's a stupid cheer?
I disagree.
Here's why it's a stupid cheer, because you're pretty much saying that your team isn't any good.
I don't care. I still like it. I love it. I love an overrated chant.
You're pretty much
God, I love it.
It's not good.
We got spirit. Yes, we do. We got spirit. How about you? And then rebound, overrated.
Get rid of that one.
No, I love overrated.
What's the one? We're gonna win. Looks like we're gonna. I don't know.
No, it's here's the one I want to get rid of. The soccer one. I want the soccer one gone.
The soccer is it the win? We're
gonna win one. I'm so tired. That's the one I'm tired of.
Yeah. There's one about Taco Bell.
We believe. We believe. We believe. We believe. We believe. We believe. And then everyone jumps up and down.
Yeah.
Shut up.
So from that soccer game, we won on Sunday, and I didn't think we played great. But I threw this out at the kids on Tuesday, Puckett practice. We had a good turnout. Everybody was there. The kids coming in from lacrosse, football. They're all showing up because they believe. And I tried something. I pulled out a little bit out of the Pete Carroll book. I'm like, and the Puckett book. I'm like, I'm not going to talk as much today. I'm going to just quiet down. I said, guys, tell the truth Tuesday.
Oh, I love it.
I said, I don't think we played our best. We won. The scoreboard says we won.
You got to knock them down after a big win. That's when you do it.
I said, I don't honestly think we played that well. Anybody want to jump in and tell the truth Tuesday? Just say it how it is. I'm telling you what, Puck. Now, everybody listening that's a coach, these are 13, 14-year-olds. Boom. I mean, it was one after another. They were just going. I was like, I looked at assistant coach Michael. Doesn't know a lot about soccer like I do, and we're just like.
I mean, why does Mike stop? Time out.
Yeah.
Why does Michael need to get an unnecessary arrow on the show? Hey, Michael, I appreciate what you do for the kids and for Egan. I think it's unnecessary to get there. Michael doesn't know soccer like I do. What are you, fucking Brian Schmetzer over there?
I didn't say I know anything about soccer. I said I don't know. I said Coach Michael and I would laugh because we surround ourselves with Coach JR who knows everything about soccer.
I got you.
And the referees sometimes will go, we got an indirect kick for the Thunder. And I'll look at Coach Michael and go, can we score on that or do we need to get into a partner?
Get JR. Is it JR? Is he the main coach? JR.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's the main one as far as knowing the game. But Michael and I are the motivators. He's the defensive coordinator. I'm the OC, the subbing guru, so. But I'll tell you this, Puck, with you sports, be careful out there. Sometimes you're like, oh, this is the game I'm going to get so-and-so to start, That sometimes doesn't go right, because you start moving. Then all of a sudden, it's a slow start.
Chemistry gets screwed up.
Yeah.
So you're saying the kids, when the ages are what again?
13, 14-year-olds. These are
they took
7th and 8th graders. Yeah.
So they took the Tell the Truth Tuesday to heart, and they started calling out people. Did they call out the coaches? Hey, Chris. Hey, Coach Egan. If we're going to tell the truth, maybe an extra large sweatshirt, huh?
One kid.
Lay off the whipped cream in your coffee, bud.
Well,
and while we're at it, if you're over, no more visors.
They love the visor. They do love. Well. I'll tell you this.
Chris is wearing a visor for people that are listening.
I was playing goalie the other night on Tuesday, and I made a nice save, and I kicked it. I'm 51. I didn't kick it too hard, and I kicked it right to the other team. And one of my kids goes, have a purpose with your pass, Coach Chris. Purpose with your pass. That's
what I love that. Yes. Yes.
He came right back at me. No, one kid did kind of question the warm-up, which I take. That's my responsibility is getting these, we do a stretch. We do a ballistic stretch, and then we do a little 3-on-2 attack.
What's a ballistic stretch?
You're doing like the scissors, you're doing a little running.
Karaoke?
Little karaoke.
Karaoke. Come on, I know karaoke. A little backpedaling.
Yeah, get the legs moving a little bit.
The squat trunk turn that every youth baseball team's got to do.
Get the legs going a little bit. Yeah, but you know what? You mentioned the name, and apparently we've gone to Netflix R rating because you threw out the F word. So for all my Thunder players listening, I apologize for Puckett's.
My apologies. I forgot we were interviewing Schmetzer here.
Well, with that in mind, Schmetzer contract extension.
It's great. Why did it take so long?
That's I think the question.
I don't know. He's only the best coach you've ever had, so let's hang him out to dry for the whole season. I don't know I don't know anything about soccer. I don't really pay attention to it much. But I know that guy's the best coach they've ever had. Yeah. And he's probably the best coach in this city. And why you let him hang? I mean, they got it done good. Why did he have to prove something this year? What did he have to prove?
I have no idea. Best coach, best with the media, best getting the team to the playoffs. Best.
Great.
I mean, you don't have to be from here to be great, but he's from here. He understands the history. He salutes all the other teams. I mean,
he's the best. I've never seen anyone as a head coach handle the media better than that guy handles it.
Yeah. I do like his, though, when he's Jeremiah. I mean, sometimes I'm going to say this to him. Sometimes when I'm trying to cut a soundbite for the nightly news, I don't need Jeremiah. Yeah. I don't need Jeremiah. Moz, great question, Moz. I have to edit Moz out of my soundbite. I got a 20-second soundbite. Nobody watching King 5 Sports knows who Jeremiah and Moz are, so I got to edit.
Moz Vita. God, he's been around everywhere. I'll tell you what, the racket that Moz Vita has carved out for himself in Seattle is unbelievable. It's, Moz, if you're listening and watching this later, I love you. You basically just carved out, I'm going to go to every sporting event I can. I'm going to pretend I cover it, and I'm going to get a credential.
He is the best. He is the best. Moz is everywhere.
Oh, yes.
I'm surprised. I do not see him on Friday nights, but I mean, there's a limit to how many things he can get.
There's a limit to where he can be at, and there's a limit to free food for that guy. Yeah, I think my thinking with Moz is that he just doesn't want to pay for dinner. So if I get credentialed to all these sporting events, basically my food is covered 7 days a week.
Well, one of Tony V's greatest producers, Bill Rocky, used to do that. I mean, that guy would he'd be showing up at the Seahawks table like, Bill, I thought you retired from Cairo 8 years ago.
And he always had what I love about Bill is he just always kind of had that, like, either someone farted in the room, he was stoned, or it's just kind of this, like, this dumbfounded look on his face.
Oh, man.
Hey, can I ask you a question? And this is we're gonna pit youth sports against each other, and I don't like it.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, every sport has a season, correct?
Sure,
except for one.
Well, I mean, they're all with AAU trying to go year round.
I know, but
I know when
you know where I'm going, except for one, and it gets in the way of other sports, and and it's happened in football this year with us. Hey, is Johnny going to be at the game on Saturday? Oh no, he's got a soccer game. Excuse me, we're playing football. He signed up to play football. Remember that? And he's one of our better players. So, can he be there? No, he's got a soccer game.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Why is it that's the one sport that is just year round, nonstop?
Well, that's why I have 19 players on my team, and none of them have left, and they keep coming back because we do just play in the fall and winter, and we're done. Yes, soccer is year round. Here's what happens here, Puck. When you get to the high school ranks, the select kids are literally playing opposite of their high school schedule. So they give them a little break during high school to go play high school. But once that's done, they go right back to select. So literally, I think the only break for soccer is maybe a 2-week stretch during like the Christmas holidays.
Yeah, they don't take much.
Here's my only concern with this one too, Puck, is as you throw this out there, and there's some great programs out there. Don't get me wrong. We've had a lot of kids that have gone on and played Division I soccer, Paul Rothrock, Jackson Reagan, Jordan Morris, some of the homegrown kids. But it's not like we've got that homegrown status when it comes to like basketball coming out of the Pacific Northwest, if you will. I mean, we've produced some amazing talent for the NBA. I mean, we could sit here for a half an hour and talk about the players that have come out of this area.
I would make an argument, honestly, that there's New York City and all those, but it might be unparalleled if you take New York City out of it.
Per capita and population, I think Seattle could be number one as far as NBA talent. I think we're seeing that talent as far as baseball, too. There are just a ton of kids coming out of this region for baseball.
But you're saying that for all the emphasis that we have in soccer in this area, that we don't produce a bunch of soccer players.
It doesn't seem like that to me. And somebody could jump on here and correct me if I'm wrong. I mentioned those three names, but I've been doing sports in Seattle now 25 years. And I make it a big deal about like this kid's from Lakeside, this kid's from Bothell, this kid's from Ballard, this kid grew up in Federal Way. And we've got a few homegrown talent, but it's not like this market is just flooding. It feels like the soccer world. Like I haven't seen any just gigantic.
That's interesting.
I mean, you got Casey Keller grew up here. I think he's a Team USA player that would probably be at the very high end of that. But I don't know. And yet we just keep going down this path of them playing 11 months a year.
I mean, I'm kind of half kidding and not, but it's just like, when is it? Okay. I'm just trying to remember when I was growing up, has it changed over the years for people who are in the soccer community? Like, was it always a fall sport or was it always a spring sport and then we just made it year round? I don't know that.
I think it's a good question. I don't know that answer, and I would love to. And I know the other sports are trying it though, Puck. You can see. I mean, you could play basketball year round. I mean,
of course you can.
There's a tournament every weekend right now.
Yeah.
I mean, these baseball clubs are practicing indoors. But
I just think
as far as
this.
games go, soccer is going nonstop.
I'll be honest, and I think you would agree a little bit with this, as being we're coaches, right?
Yeah.
I think it's unfair to the people that volunteer their time, honestly, and put these teams together that I can't make football practice because I'm playing soccer, or vice versa. I can't make soccer practice because I'm playing football. It's like, I don't know. Pick one, whichever one you want, and pick one and play it, and then give everything you want for that. Whether in the fall, and then if it's winter, whatever you do in the winter, and then the spring, and then the summer. I think it's a little too much. I see these kids we had a kid on one of our team, a football game that we played a whole football game, and then right afterwards is playing a soccer game, and I'm like, man, I think that's a little much.
Here's the
Just
equation.
Give him a break.
I honestly don't blame the soccer clubs because they're a business. They're trying to make money,
of course.
And they're doing what they can. Casey Keller told me this a long time ago. Chris, if a guy coaches 3 months compared to 12 months, he's, or a guy or gal, he's making more money as a 12-month coach. That's why they go year round. So, I mean, it makes sense why they go that route. Who I blame is it all comes down to the parent. The parent feels like they may, oh, God, I really need him on this team. I'm missing out on this team if I don't do this. And at one point, the parents have to make an educated decision on the balance of their kid. And when I say the balance of their kid, is going to AAU basketball practice 5 out of 7 nights a week, is that a great thing for your kid when he's missing out on schoolwork, sleep, grandma's 80th birthday party? No, I'm serious, because that's the balance you have to start looking at. It's like next week's Halloween, Puck, and we'll get into my top 5 candies, my most tradable candies.
Oh, yeah.
What are the candies I should be having next? But next week is Halloween. Guess what? Chris Egan's rec soccer team, who usually practices on Thursday, we won't be practicing on Thursday.
Oh, you bring up a touchy subject, because we won't be. I know of a team that is making their squad practice Thursday night, and I'm like, why are you doing that? What's the point of that?
We won't be, because there's that fine line of balance. And sure, these are 13 and 14-year-olds, and some of them may not be trick-or-treating, but the fact is it's a holiday. Now, pretty much every Premier team, in my mind, is probably going to be on the practice field that night, because they pay big money.
Just
so
dumb. My God, they're like 11 years old. Let them have Halloween off so they can go fill themselves up with candy and walk up to have some moments. Walk up to the house that just puts out the whole bucket, and they take the whole bucket. That's what I love.
You could forward this podcast 20 years from now, and you've got Jason Puckett in the future, and you got some Premier kid over here that never was able to go to Halloween, or they're going to talk top 5 candy bars. The Premier kids, I don't know. I never had a candy bar.
My example is, I know a football team that's doing it. It's not ours, and I'm like, I'm like, really? Like, why would you practice on Halloween? Like, that's just whatever.
Well, it's what I've interviewed thousands of athletes, and the great ones have this thing called balance. And you know what? And for some reason along the way, parents don't, see like, no, he needs to be there at that practice if he wants to get there. And I don't know. it's a great little argument, and you could have stories from each side of the table on it. So, but
Yeah.
I'm going to keep doing it my way. You're going to do it
Yeah,
your
yeah.
way, and I just you can't get that time back, is what I'll say. And
do you think next week? Do you think, speaking of Halloween, because Halloween's on a Thursday, my son has already asked, "Can I not go to school on Friday?" I'm like,
oh yeah.
I'm like, no,
why would he?
You got to go to school, buddy. Like, you're not gonna. I always
thought Friday after Halloween was one of the best days because that's trade day. That's where you bring in the big candy and you're trading.
No one's gonna do. I told him. I said no one's gonna do anything anyways, including your teachers, because you know what your teachers were doing while everyone else while they were passing out candy, sipping on Granddaddy's cough medicine all night long. Yep. They're hungover. Yeah. They don't want to be there either. So don't worry about it.
Yeah,
all right.
Bring your bag of candy and get to school, and then you got Saturday to sleep in.
You got Saturday to sleep in. Now this is a great debate. We like to do it every year. You and I, top 5 candies. To me, it starts and ends with Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, but I understand that people have their other candies. Your top 5, are you going from 5 down up to 1?
I'll go 5 up to. I'm going to go 5 up to 1. And I'd love to get in with you on top 5 tradable or just worst candies that you can get.
Sure.
And then the top 5 that if Mel Egan could have me get at the house that I would pick up. So my top 5 though favorites, as I look back at 51 glorious years of Halloween trick-or-treating. Please, coaches, no practice on Halloween. My honorable mention at number 6 would be the Whoppers. I just don't eat the Whoppers enough, so I think getting a nice big bag of Whoppers on Halloween is a great one. Number 5 for me, not everybody likes to go this route. I love them. I like them when they're warm and they're a little mushy. The Junior Mint, I think you can't go wrong with the Junior Mint.
Yes.
Another one that I like to have when it's a little warm that you don't get a whole lot is the 100 Grand. The 100 gram, it's caramel, it's crunchy, it's so good.
I'm going to tell you right now, that's way low. Four for 100 grand. Okay.
I got 4. Number 3, though, I mean, for me, it's one of my favorites of all time. I love it. If you can give me the king size on Halloween, that would be the Twix. I love the Twix.
I bet you down in your wealthy neighborhood, they got a lot of that.
I'm going to try. Neighbors, if you're listening, king size Twix for me. Number 2 for me, because I just love taking it out at night with a Coors Light at midnight and taking it and dipping it into a jar of peanut butter. And for me, that is the Kit Kat. I mean, it is the greatest. It is the greatest candy bar late at night with a beer
dipping it in peanut butter.
Dipping it in peanut butter. Sometimes I'll take a knife and make a little thing. And number 1 for me, Puck, yes, you can't go wrong. Give me the pumpkin. Give me the Easter bunny. Yeah. Give me the original. Give me the big cup. Give me whatever. Just give me a Reese's peanut butter cup, and I will be a happy man.
It's the OG. It just is. Yeah, I like it. I like your list. I think the one I would have the 100 grand up a little more.
You go 2 or 3 with the 100 grand?
I'm probably going to go 2. I do like a Twix. I do like Kit Kat. I do like that you mentioned Junior Mints because I love Junior Mints.
It's a nice random candy out of
so good.
Just fresh breath, throwing a Junior Mint.
That's what it is too. Yeah, gives you some fresh breath and some candy. And I like to throw them in the freezer, but not too long.
Oh, interesting. I've not tried
not
that.
Too long, and then pull it out. Now Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are there. I mean, I can't get enough of Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. I mean, they're glorious.
And when you buy at the Puckett house to hand out, do you usually buy those 5 because you're like, you know what, if we're going to have extras, we might as well have extras.
I buy the ones that I want.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when there's left over, then I'll eat them all. So.
Are you ready for my top? I got 7 on my list today of just sell or trade, trade or throwback in the back. Number 7 on the list, the Charleston Chew. I've just never understood it. I don't like it. I don't get it. I don't like it.
Fair.
Number 6 on that list would just be Almond Joy. I'm not a big fan of.
Don't get it.
Yeah, I'm not. And then right underneath that would be Mounds. I mean, is it the same candy bar? Is it different? Almond Joy.
It's the same thing.
The same thing, right? Why would we name it 2 different things?
I don't know.
The Heath bar.
Ooh.
I'm not a big fan of the Heath bar. It feels like almond roca to me without the nuts. I
like a Heath bar.
I'm just not.
Okay. All right.
Here's one that I just think is just. Instead of good and plenty, they should call it awful and plenty because I don't get it. I've never enjoyed it. But that one is a good tradable one. I usually would bring that to school the next day because usually somebody likes the good and plenty. Tied for me for the worst two would be, and we had a neighbor that would always give it out, would be just a box of raisins, which I just don't get it. Like, why don't you pull a carrot out of your garden and put it in my bag? And then number one for me, I think it is the worst candy ever invented. And there are people that love it for some reason. And please, it's like kryptonite for me. Keep it away from me, candy corn.
Yeah, don't get it.
I don't understand it. I don't know
Gross.
who invented it. I don't know why people like it.
And it's chalky, It's not even good. It's
awful. It's awful. So that's
awful.
Right with that. Top five. If I'm going to be going out today and trying to keep this, slim figure of mine down, the wife says number 5. I need to get some mixed nuts, a bag of smoked salmon. I do enjoy
health. Wait a minute. First, no one's going to hand this out. You want healthy snacks?
Puckett, once again, not an endorsement, but I do enjoy the Trader Joe's Crispy Rice is beautiful snack bar.
Hey, if Trader Joe's wants to be a sponsor, I'm in.
Yeah. And number one for me is this would be kind of fun, and I'm thinking about doing it next Thursday, is just having a large charcuterie board. you can pick your meat to go.
To the kids? Hey, kids. What do you want? Some brie and some smoked Gouda.
No, I'm going to have king size for the kids and a charcuterie board and some Coors Light.
No, you need to have alcohol for the. Are you staying home? And if you are staying home, you need to provide something for the adults.
Okay, Puck. Huge argument every year. The wife and I, God
there is
bless
no
her,
debate.
She is incredible, but this is a debate we have every single year. Every single year, she wants to go to her good friend's house and have a Halloween party. I feel like you have to keep somebody at the house.
Yes.
You don't want to be the house that the lights
has
are
the
off,
bowl.
or just the bowl.
Well, you can leave the bowl. I mean, you can if you have to.
It takes one junior high group, and that bowl is gone.
That's true. That's the negative.
They'll dump that thing in their little pillowcase, and they're out of there.
Well, I can't wait for the neighbors who do not have kids that live 3 blocks down from us every year. Adult mudslide shots. I can't wait. I go back there I go back there like 4 times. Right in the beginning, then I go back and I come back again. I love it. It's the best. Mudslide shots. I
don't even know what that is.
Just booze, lots of like bourbon and
so each parent comes up and you get a shot, huh?
Yeah, they do shots for they give candy to the kids and then they say, wait, hold on. And then they bring out this platter of booze. Wow. And they're like, here you go. Like 1 year, well, they usually do these mudslide shots, and then they'll do Jello shots. It's great.
God, that's awesome.
That's the way you have to have it. I have a bag full of wine, and away you go.
What do you think is going to be the top costume this year? I was trying to think about that. It's usually something trending. I would say, last year I think it was Taylor Swift and Kelsey.
Yes.
I think they're past their prime.
I'm going to do one that I think probably other people will do, but it's going to be funny, but.
It's going to be maybe a little political. Donald Trump, Kamala. I mean,
no. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. I think I'm going to do. I don't care. I'm going to do Scotty Scheffler getting arrested.
Scotty Scheffler getting arrested.
The orange jumpsuit. I got the beard already. Handcuffs. I have a green jacket. I'm going to put a green jacket on.
You know what I wanted to be was this year. I'm thinking about doing it. Is a Costco sampler lady.
Yes. Yes.
I want to sit up.
Oh my God! Now I've got an idea. If I don't do Scheffler, that is unbelievable. Oh, you've got to do it.
Sampler lady. I want to have little beanie weenies.
Yes.
And then even if nobody's there, I'm going to just read them. These are good protein. They only take 15 minutes.
And they're just $9.99. Get 2 for $20. Sale. They're on for sale. Oh, take one, please. Take one.
In freezer number 2, you can get them now. Sorry, that just won.
That's Mel. Shout out to Mel in the background. That's Melanie Egan. She is the real estate star for everyone in the South Sound.
Ever need any help with your real estate, Puck? Melanie Egan.
I love that idea. Now that you got me thinking of that, if I don't go with Scheffler, I'm gonna steal your Costco idea, but not go as the sample. Not go to the sample person. I'm gonna go as the man or the woman at the front who does the receipt check. And just walk around and look at it and look at everyone and go, "Yep, you got it."
Yep. And then what? How do we know? I mean, I get a lot of smiley faces when I go through. But is everybody getting that smiley face with a phone number on it?
Meet me behind the Costco. Meet me behind the tire spot. Yeah. Hey, no, I don't think so. Just you.
You and I and a chicken bake.
God, my kid is begging me. It must be a TikTok craze.
Chicken bakes?
Yeah, it's because it's the dad and the kid that do the thing on TikTok. But he's like, "Can we go to Costco and get the chicken bake and the big cookie?" I'm like, "Why? Like, why are you begging for this?" But it's some TikTok craze. So,
my kid did the you get 2 cookies and the ice cream and you pop them.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, hey, we got to wrap up. But before we go, where are you at tonight?
Well, this
big game of the week.
I'm going to tell you what, Puck. I've been asked to rank your high schools on big game night, and I will just say it's a roller coaster because every year is different. You can't, every year some schools have different spirit, but this school consistently over the last 15 years is been top 5 every time we've gone there. That is Sunset Chevrolet Stadium, home of the Sumner Spartans.
Great spot.
Keith Ross is the coach. They have one of the best bands in the state, one of the best student bodies. They've got a game day crew that will be joining me live at 5:45, 6:45. They're taking on Sumner, by the way, number 2 in the state in the 4A, so good team. Taking on Emerald Ridge, another good team, and they're battling for the SPSL title tonight, the North title tonight. So it's homecoming. They have a parade through downtown Sumner. Starts downtown and ends at the Dairy Freeze right before the high school.
Great.
It's homecoming night, so it's going to be a fun one. You know what? We've been north 7 straight weeks in a row, so it's nice for me to finally get a closer game to the Egan compound. But I'm excited. It'll be fun. Yeah.
We got a couple of comments with Mel Egan getting in the camera shot there from Jeff.
What did Jeff say? Smoke show. Well, Jeff, I'd agree. She's got her Lululemons on.
Hey, I'm telling you. Things could be fun in the Egan household tonight if you share that. Chris Egan, King 5. This was one of the best shows we've ever done. He's with us every Friday. It's brought to you by our great friends there at Fat Zach's Pizza. Again, 3 locations in Sumner, Puyallup, South Hill, home of the original No Big Deal Pickle Pizza. Book one of their 3 food trucks for catering, birthday parties, graduations, corporate events. Find Fat Zach's Pizza on Facebook, Instagram, and, of course, FatZachsPizza.com. Follow Chris tonight, big game of the week, on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Egan 5, and, of course, all of his work up at King5.com. Of course, you can find this episode up on YouTube. You can also listen to it back later on Apple, Spotify, wherever you find your podcast, and, of course, up at pucksports.com. You are the very, very best. We say it all the time. Love you. Have a great weekend, and have a great Halloween. We'll talk to you next Friday.
Love you too, buddy. I like the show being 43 minutes because that's usually what it takes me to get home on Saturday night from King 5 to Puyallup. Good. So I can listen to the whole show tomorrow night on my drive home. So thank you, buddy.
Right. See you, Chris.
Okay. Bye-bye.